All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to All for United. This is yet another post-match reaction where I do not feel good about myself. Why do I always have to host the shit ones? United have just beaten West Brom 1-0. I should be going, well done, we've got 3 points. Instead, I'm saying, we've been shit, what do we do next? Joining me are Oliver, usual suspect, Mr. Acting Joe himself, and James, who I've not seen for quite a while. How are you doing, James?
I'm all right. Yeah, it's been a while since we've been on the same show together.
It's good to have you here. Some great faces, a shit performance.
Can everyone agree also in the comments that James is just the reincarnation of Buddy Holly?
Who's that?
Oh, Carter, come on.
I thought I'd heard that before.
Yeah, he invented rock and roll.
I'm going to have to Google that.
Well, Google it when one of us are on a rampage here, and you'll hear me going shit, fucking shit, and then you'll hear in the background his character. Oh, he does look like him.
You know what? We'll do that. Right, we've got loads to talk about because I'd like to say first that the most important thing. I mean, I said it on the Twitter. I was on the Twitter throughout the game. I said that the most important thing today was getting 3 points because we needed 3 points. We needed a first home win. And what a lot of people forget is it's the first time we've won back-to-back games this season. So that was important as well, to get consecutive wins. To me, it didn't. At the start of the game, if you told me we'd play shit and get 3 points, I'd have said, yeah, fuck it, I'll take it because we need it. I mean, I'll open it to the floor. Comments, let me know what you think. We'll go to Ollie first. What do you make of the performance? What do you make of the result?
Well, like you said, you'd take the 3 points if they were offered out, but it's just draining, isn't it, watching that sort of performance? I mean, for me, I said the best person that was on that pitch that's ever been on United's books was Sam Johnston. I don't know why it is where we make people look like 10 times better than they are. Even their centre-back looked fantastic. Sam Johnston, prime, Buffon, out of nowhere. I don't know whether that was tame shooting, but a few of our players went missing today. Rashford, positives. Let's try and keep some sort of positives.
Don't come to me,
Rashford, no, we'll leave you for the negatives, Joe. Tellez and Rashford, when they figure each other out, is going to be, just exciting. That Tellez look world class. He's one of those players. Him and Bruno, you could probably drop in any team at the minute. He looked fantastic. His give and go play was clever, very well weighted passes. Then throwing a range of passing in. I think Luke Shaw today, it would have just been criminal. They figured out we were going down the left and we didn't have anything on the right, which seems to be a bit of a common theme recently. And the saddest thing, Donny van der Beek getting 10-minute cameo. I mean, it is criminal, isn't it? Really.
Matic played 90 minutes.
Well, did he? Matt played 85 minutes and then sort of limped on till the end like a lame horse. He's too old, he should be going off. Yet again, we criticised the changes that should have been made, but shoulda, woulda, coulda. 3 points. It was pretty lame, but, first win at Old Trafford. So for me, I'll take it.
Joe, we'll go to you next. I mean, we've won again through another penalty decision. There was loads of VAR drama, so I want to get your thoughts on it. First of all, the West Brom penalty, do you think it should have been overturned? Because when I looked at it, I thought, I might have given that.
Yeah, that was a stonewall penalty. And I also see Barry's in the comments with his wonderful comments as always. And Barry, please, would you agree with me that James looks like Buddy Holly? Because I don't think anyone else was watching when I said that. So just agree with me that you don't have to watch again. There was from...
He does look like him.
Hey, there we go.
Right, carry on.
Thank you. See? No, that was utter misery today. And like Hardy goes the same as you before I went into it. I was expecting I was hoping it would be typical 3-0 win, handy out, a goal in the first half, and then when they're attacking, we get them twice in a second. But instead what we got was slow, was morbid, was just, I don't want to say lack of interest, but it just felt like a lack of desire, lack of creativity. Like Bruno was doing everything. And then, but it also made him look bad because he would do an incredible pass, but then no one would be at the end of it because they weren't clever enough to know to make the run. So it'd make him look like he didn't know what he was doing. The penalty, West Brom should have had a penalty. Absolutely. No doubt about it. We got away with that one. This one really for us is a 1-1 draw because we weren't going to score from open play. Didn't look like we were anywhere near scoring from open play because Sam Johnson had a fantastic game and fair play to him, but it doesn't make a difference. We should have been. It doesn't matter what he does. We have to be putting, goals past West Brom. West Brom are they've 2 points or something like that, something ridiculous this season, and we made them look a lot better than they are. That's just it. Yeah, they haven't won. I know they drew against Chelsea and someone else, and then they could have easily luckily we had classic De Gea instead of De Gea the last couple of seasons in goals, or else it would have been a West Brom win. It was shocking, and then Bruno missed his penalty, and then luckily got to retake it. Now, in fairness, that's the rules. There was nothing wrong. The penalty we got, it was a clear handball. The rules are you have to stay on your line, so it was a retaken one, so that's all fair enough. But starting lineup as well when you're coming into it, I think Ollie is scared, if I'm being honest. If you're starting two holding midfielders against, and I know Fred is a little bit more than just sitting back, he does a lot more. But if you're starting those two players against West Brom, you're giving them far too much respect. This with Pogba not even on the bench. How is Donny like this? Now, I know we had a big chat about this a couple of weeks ago, discussing Donny van de Beek and how it's just a matter of time. But he must be like, what am I supposed to do here to get into this team? Pogba it's supposed to be Pogba or Bruno are in my position. So if one of them aren't playing, I should be coming in. He cost us 40 million. Why didn't he play today? Why didn't he start? There was no excuse for not starting. He played brilliantly for Holland during the week. Who cares if he played a couple of games? Cavani travelled from Uruguay, played 2 games. I know he came off the bench, but still. Martial played for France. Pretty much everyone. Maguire played a couple of times. Every one of our players played just about international football. There was no excuse for Donny van de Beek not being in the starting lineup. And I think, and we didn't kick on from Everton. We played fantastic against Everton, and I expected more of that today. I am very, very much worried what Solskjaer's mindset is if he's starting, especially not starting Donny van de Beek. I think there's more trouble ahead than anything else. I think Everton might have just been a respite. I think this is the worst 1-0 result, 1-0 victory we've had in as long as I can remember. And that I know, like, how are you supposed to have a bad 1-0 win? But like, this is one of the worst performances. We got away with so much. It's a travesty, to say the least, an absolute travesty.
I mean, you alluded towards how we set up our midfield. I think the midfield is what let us down today. I won't dive in to the details just yet because I want to see what James thinks. But in terms of the setup, James, do you think? I mean, I've seen Barry's comment here. Cheers for getting into the comments, guys. Keep them coming. 2 holding midfielders. I know Fred and Matic did start together. I don't personally classify it as 2 holding midfielders when Fred's in there because he rarely does play it as that. But I want to see what you think about Mata because in the preview, I did say that this is going to be a game where they sit off us a little bit and sort of we need a more technical player to break it down. But Mata just didn't seem to fit the game almost. What did you make of the midfield we came into it with, James?
I think it's starting to get a little bit insulting towards Van der Beek now. The fact that he came in for as competition for Pogba and Bruno, and now he can't even get in over Mata. I think that's it. Like I say, it's just getting a bit insulting in his sense, and I think there must be something going on behind the scenes that he's clearly on board with because we're not seeing it. But yeah, I think it surprised me because Mata's usually very good. He sort of shines in those sort of challenges where he has to break down a low block. He's usually the key to us doing that. As weird as that sounds, but. I think, was it Gallagher in the midfield for them that he seemed to have Mata in his back pocket just purely on speed and physicality, outwitted Mata's technicality. But yeah, I think I backed Matic to the hills last year. I think it was getting embarrassing how much of a fan I was of him last year, and this year he's just really not kicked on at all. I think it's got to the point where I'm starting to rate Fred and McTominay higher than him based on form. I think. He's only in there today because of McTominay's international exploits, but yeah, he looks well past it. Whether that's confidence or it's just age that's really, really catching up to him. But yeah, I think take my hat off to Bruno. I think yes, he lost possession a lot of times, but he also made everything happen. So you can't really complain with that. His passing range and his creativity really shone again. But yeah, I can't say I was happy with the midfield today at all.
Yeah, just before we move on, I'm seeing some of the comments saying there's some issues with audio. Just refresh your page. Apparently they can hear Joe, but no one else. That's just because when Joe speaks, we all shut the
Joe's
fuck up.
just louder than everyone else.
Is this the mic?
Yeah, that's just because when Joe speaks, we all shut up. There's absolutely no point trying to cut across him. So yeah, just refresh your page. If there is an issue, refresh your page. Otherwise, it's just all of us being quiet because we're respectful to other people on this channel. In terms of the midfield, I did want to point out because in the first half there's a weird little situation where I thought our positioning was really off in midfield because we had in the first half Bruno was so deep. Now at first I thought it was a case of trying to link up play because we were struggling to really make anything happen. And then I started realizing that he was just hanging around there in the middle of the pitch and not really moving forward. And then there came a situation where there was, I think, Matic, Telles, Rashford, and Bruno all in the same channel on the left. I was like, why does there need to be 4 of you there? And then someone in the replies to that tweet said, well, it's to overload one side. I said, great, fantastic, well spotted, but we're not switching the play. If you're overloading one side, it's to open up space on the other one so you can switch it and go. We didn't do that. So there didn't seem to be a real plan there, and there's a lot of comments saying that maybe we haven't coached our midfield properly. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but there was certainly a problem there today. Another problem that I noticed was up front. I don't think Martial had a great game. I want to see what everyone thinks.
Mate.
There was a lot made of when Cavani came on. His movement was superb, I thought. He was really lively. Ollie, what did you make of Martial? What more does he need to do? And what does he not do that Cavani does? And who do you start next week?
Well, it's a rarity for me to agree with commentators, but when he said, Cavani came on, you could see his movement. That's something that's just drilled into you from experience, but his movement with Martial's pace makes a brilliant striker.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, where they both lack, Martial could learn from Cavani. I don't see them both on the same pitch at the same time, though, to be honest with you. When I saw Van der Beek and Cavani warming up, I was expecting Martial to go off, to be honest with you. I thought he didn't run the channels today. In that setup, it has worked where he's this side of the defence and holding the ball up because he has changed his game. You could see that over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's adapted to fit. He can take the ball, hold off a man and open up the play, bring it on. But today, there was 5 at the back, but a lot of times there was a lot of space in that first half at the back where a simple ball, we've got players that can, ping a ball from 60 yards to your toe, stop dead. And Martial wasn't making the right runs, and it was frustrating. Like you were saying, Bruno, he'd appear really deep. That was born from frustration because something just wasn't quite working today. And I think if we can see it, surely the bench and the manager can see it. So perhaps something needed to change. As I say, Mata coming off, you could see when he started moving more centrally and they were, interchanging. There was a lot more fluidity going forward, but it took so long to get there that their defence had time to set up again. So for me, Martial made a rod for his own back with his lack of movement today. I think he was told he was playing one way and everybody else had a different view on it. It didn't quite link up, and you could see he was frustrated with himself. But if you can see Cavani coming on and doing those movements, it's like if Cavani had taken that ball to Martial near the end, if that had been the other way around, Cavani would have made that run. It's like Telles was making, 1-2s and Rashford wasn't quite clicking. So I think maybe a bit of time might help that. You need to know someone's game for all these new signings to instantly click. But there was a lot of that today. It was like 30 odd times when there was the same idea. They weren't singing from the same hymn sheet, if you like. That was frustrating for me. So I can only imagine for the rest of you.
This is a strange comment. It's too easy to just say it's just the coaching team that doesn't know what to do. Have a bit more depth. Tell me what you think they're not doing enough. Tell me that, because I'm happy to listen to what you have to say, because I'm a coach myself. I know what I would have sort of suggested, but I've obviously not got the knowledge that these coaches do. So I'm not going to be stupid enough to say, oh, you don't know what you're doing. Clearly, there's no coaching going on, because obviously there is. And at the end of the day, these are professional footballers. They should have a bit of common sense as to what they need to do on a football pitch. They don't need to be told. At this level, they don't need a lot of coaching.
Would you not agree we missed wingers today?
Yeah, a lot of the
I
comments
think
saying
Rashford showed that he wasn't really a winger today. You know, he wasn't comfortable with the overlapping and what have you. And then the right-hand side, I don't know about you, like I am keen for January and just throw Diallo in, see what he can do. You know, it's better than nothing that we have at the minute. That was my main sort of peeve of the transfer window as well. You know, we needed wingers, if not a left winger, definitely a 1 or 2 right wingers. We didn't really get that, but you know, you don't have time to ease this lad in when he comes in January. He needs to be in there to give us an option.
I mean, we talk about the wing play. Joe, I wanted to ask you about Rashford because he had a quiet one today. There were rumours that he had a shoulder injury as well.
Yeah.
Do you think there was that, or do you reckon there was a little bit more to it and he needs to step up a little bit more?
To be honest, I do think it was fitness more so than anything else, because he looked a bit leggy and he just didn't feel like he was there, and that tends to just happen when he's playing with an injury. He tends to give a lot more when he is fully fit. Even if he doesn't score, he's in the game more. So I kind of feel like it was injury, but also he hasn't been consistently great all season. He's had moments. He's had 16 minutes against Leipzig. He needs he needs to deliver more, but you can't just single him out though in any capacity. He's as good, or he's been our best player at times, and then he's only when he's injured that he isn't up there. It's my main focus on sorting out is Martial. I think Martial has been the worst player for us this season.
Unfortunately,
this was this year. I've said it many times. This was the season. I know you asked about Rashford. Sorry for going to Martial, but this was his season to kick on. I have never been sold on him at all. He's had another wonderful moments, but never consistently. His most consistent running form was the after lockdown. So everyone was saying this is it now. People were saying he was our player of the season. I was like, he has to do it now, and he hasn't at all. He had at least 2 chances there that anyone with a bit of balls would have put away, and he just. I don't want to read into body language, because I think body language is different for each people. But Martial, when he looks down, it makes me so angry because it's so visible on him, you know, and I get frustrated. But I think he's a big concern going forward. We should not be having a conversation of a 33-year-old, you know, his best years should not be the conversation. Like Cavani was brought in basically to replace Igalo as the number 2 striker. And to save a game every so often. We were not supposed to be having this conversation of who would be starting ahead of him. And I completely agree with Ollie was saying about the right wing. But then again, that shows, look, let's break away from what exactly is happening now and look at the world. Mourinho, don't like the man, don't like him whatsoever. But when he's backed, look what he's doing with Spurs. Solskjaer wasn't backed, and look what's happening. Why did that right wing empty? Because we didn't get Sancho. No matter how well Sancho's doing this season, it doesn't matter. That's who Ollie wanted for that right wing. We have a gap there now for that reason, because he wasn't backed. And that's going to happen consistently no matter who we get in. I know I crossed about 3 different conversations there, but for me,
that's why no one speaks when he speaks.
But for me, there's this game was just the antithesis of United, maybe since post-Fergie. Deserved to lose, somehow won through just pure madness. That's all it was. We did not deserve anything from that game.
Just to ask you all, do you realistically see Martial, number 9 Martial, playing as a number 9 for any top team in Europe?
Maybe. Depends on the team.
Who? Like AC Milan.
He could fit. It's gonna sound like a ridiculous statement, but Madrid played that kind of number 9. It's slot into the Benzema role.
In between Benzema and how he used to play.
Yeah.
You know, Benzema has nailed how Martial's trying to play. At the minute, I don't see that. I still think, like Joe said, he's not kicked on enough.
But look at him even at... And look, I'm hoping that this can be clipped by someone one day and to show us how much of an idiots we were for doubting him. Look at his record for France. He's played 16 games and scored 1 goal. and they have the best team in the world.
Jacob, go get your bath, mate. Let us join you. Let us join you in the bath. Take us with you. Relax.
I think that's called a jacuzzi. I hope.
What did you miss? You missed absolutely nothing, Brown Knight.
Yeah, nothing enjoyable.
Let's try and find some positives.
James
talked a lot about the negatives. James, give me some kind of positive. And why is it named Alex Telles?
Well, the positive with Alex Telles is he's not Luke Shaw. I think that's the big positive.
There you go. This is why I love James. Get him on the show. He clearly knows what he's doing going forward. I know that the fitness isn't there, and you could see that because he's had a long period out, so he wasn't constantly making those bombing runs forward. But when he was, there was clearly that attacking prowess there that Luke Shaw doesn't have. He's got a little bit of flair. He's not afraid to shoot. He's clearly got a decent cross on him. He can pick out a pass. He just, if the fitness gets there, then you know we're laughing, aren't we? But yeah, I think another positive is we can finally say Martial's had a shot on target this season. That takes a bit of stick away from the football Twitter lot. But yeah, you know, 3 points and Alex Telles has surely just knocked Luke Shaw off his perch. They're the only real positives I can really give.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Let me just address a couple of these comments because there's someone asking me some strange questions here. First of all, no team plays with centre-backs on the halfway line. I don't know what you're watching. That's only a setting on FIFA. Tell me one instant in open play that we created one great chance. We created about 3 in the last 10 minutes of the game. Any more questions?
First 15 minutes, Martial as well. Yeah, Martial as well.
Well, there you go. I could name you 3 chances. Cavani had 3 himself. So I don't know what you're watching, mate. I respect your opinion, but it's quite frankly wrong, unfortunately. Right, going forward, let's think about going forward then, because we've got a decent run of games now. Because in the preview, we were saying that we should use this to kick on and try and get a few wins under our belt, because we've got a few winnable games now. The next game is in the Champions League, which we're obviously going to win, against Istanbul. Ollie, what do you think needs to change from this game to try and at least improve the performance, if not the result?
To be honest with you, for the next game, I'd just take the 3 points, however we get there. So as we were saying after the Everton game, the West Brom and Istanbul game are 2 of the most important games in and around, you know, where we are at the minute. We needed to qualify. That means there's less stress going into the PSG Leipzig games, which means we can hopefully concentrate on the quite hard run of games we've got coming up. I feel like this was supposed to be the easier game. I mean, you know, it's a low block, tough team to break down. Look what happened, when Chelsea tried it. But that was a very laboured performance. I wasn't expecting for us to have to put in that much effort to, come away just having robbed 2 points, basically. And I think if we have another leggy performance against Istanbul that isn't needed, I'd take a penalty and a really slow, sloppy game. But if we have to, run our socks off and tire the team out going into the next run of games, do you play your sort of B team and try and get a win and then go in fresh for the actual harder games that we've got? It's a tough decision, but that's why managers get paid, what they do. For me, I'd take full squad to, we'll go and smash Istanbul, hopefully, and then start looking at rotating. But
sorry to interrupt you. Before I ask the next question to Joe, I've got a fantastic question here from Brendan. What's with the baby blue walls, Joe? Are you a secret Man City fan?
The closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm, okay?
What?
I don't know, okay? I didn't paint the room, all right?
It's not baby blue. I think the lighting's got it wrong. It's a bit more dark blue. It's actually a Scotland blue.
Okay, Kardik, you're the one actually wearing blue, okay? So, people in glass houses, all right?
Right. The question I was actually going to ask you is, in terms of our next few fixtures now, Ollie mentioned we've got PSG Leipzig on the horizon. Yeah, sure, fantastic. But in the league, we've got an informed Southampton, a decently performing West Ham. Then we've got City before we have an easier game against a struggling Sheffield before the game against Leeds. out of those 5 games, how many wins do you predict? And is there a chance we once again go through a couple of results where we go, all his jobs in the balance here? Because I know a few weeks ago when I asked you this question, you pointed out the Leeds game as potentially the one that sees him gone.
I'm taking with that, the 12th of December. I think the only team I can see is beaten there is Man City. And
once upon a time that was a decent statement.
Yeah. and Sheffield United maybe, but I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I thought Everton was going to be the starting point. It's going to kick us on to do a lot of the usual stuff of maybe winning, going on a mad run, but I think you get 2 of them, you don't get a third one. I think no matter what, I think he's circling the drain. Now, I want to be wrong. I really do. It's just a feeling that I have, and I have to be realistic. I just think that the way he's set up today is making me feel that I'm just not optimistic whatsoever.
Brown Knight is.
Yeah, well, of course, Brown. I really, really wish I shared whatever you were drinking. I think Southampton are better than us right now, more organised. I think that, to be honest, that'll be a handy win for them. Who's after that? West Ham. They're up and down, so I'd say, and it also would be perfect for Moyes. But see, it's always whatever is thing narrative-wise. I'm worried about the Southampton game. After that, we'll see what happens. But Southampton, for me, are probably the biggest ask out of all those games.
Definitely. Before I go to James, I've got to respond to more comments because it's just what
put up that latest one, please.
What?
Okay,
there you go.
Thank you, Dan.
There you go. Dan's loving it. Right, back to Mr. Shipar Ahmed because he's talking some strange statements. I don't want to insult our viewers, but here we go. Leipzig, City, PSG. They play a high line. We were good against them. Number one, we haven't played City yet, and Leipzig didn't play a high line. Second of all, no team has centre backs on the halfway line on their possession. No, that's not a thing.
I don't know what
how many teams do you see that just have every player in the other opposition? No, that doesn't happen. Not against us anyway.
To be fair, us against Istanbul Basaksehir.
Well, yeah, that's we did it.
There you go.
I've seen it.
We did it. And then the next comment. Watch Liverpool tomorrow. They've got no fit centre backs. Although I do appreciate you commenting. Obviously, we're just having a laugh on here, but get your comments in. As Ben's in the comments, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel because we are forever growing. I don't know how many we're on, but give us more. Why not?
Yes.
More. I'll go. You missed an opportunity to force Joe to paint his room like he almost. Oh
no, it's already gone. Moment's gone. Brendan, stop. Okay,
right. Brendan, I love Brendan. Brendan, you're my new best friend. I'll have to keep that in mind. James, I'll go to you now. Going forward, then, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. How long does he last? And I'll be in trouble.
It's going to be a telling time of the season, isn't it? The games are racking up, and he's got to really utilise this big squad that he's now built. If he doesn't start integrating Donny van der Beek in more, then he'll be in trouble. And I think, like you say, when you were saying how many wins out of the next 5 games or whatever, you got to factor in the Champions League as well. And I think if things don't start picking up, then I can see him getting rid of him before Christmas very easily because they might want. Say they get Poch in, they might want to give him a bit of money in January to play around with and see if you can turn things around. But it's going to get to a point where we're not making up enough ground on the teams at the top, and the season is very quickly slipping away with us. So I think the way it's going, he should definitely be worried. I'll say that for nothing.
Fun. I can always rely on James to give you a bright and positive feeling.
Let's not forget, it was 3 points today.
Seriously, what
boring as it was to watch, at least if we kept getting 3 points, who knows? I wouldn't want him as manager watching shit football like that every week, but if he keeps getting the 3 points, they'll be happy on the board. So.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, if you're not playing well and you're getting 3 points, I suppose you don't really have a lot to complain about. But at a club like United, you do need to have performances with it. And also, Shipar, please spell my name right. It's on your screen. It's on your screen. Spell my name right. Also, Stop using the hashtag. What hashtag?
Brown Eyes. I don't remember any of us using that hashtag.
not
But
used
also, we're allowed to voice our opinions, whether it's positive or negative. We can't just be idiots and say everything's wonderful if it's not wonderful. So this is why this is a proper channel. We say how we truly feel, not how we're, not what just suits the fan base.
Yeah, this is not an Ollie in channel. It is a United channel, United fan channel. So don't expect one or the other. Closing thoughts then. We'll go to each of you. Ollie, cheer me up. Say something. Give me something to feel good about. Stop telling us we're shit. Tell me something good. Come on.
To be honest with you, Alex Telles, shining light today. Wasn't at full fitness and looked fantastic. That's your one thing to take away from today's game. But you could take that and stick it in a bank, mate. If he plays well, we've got another world-class player like Bruno. So there we go.
Perfect. Joe wanted to say something there, and I'm scared to ask him, but go on.
Okay, I think I have an Alex Telles song, but I haven't actually said out loud, so it mightn't rhyme. Okay.
Get ready for this.
No pressure.
Okay. Alex Telles on the wing, play him Theda Shaw, and we will win.
I mean, I'll back you just because of
It's not a
the...
classic, but why not?
That was kind of... That was all directed for Kartik, but I think that's a number one hit, right? And we'll be singing this referend for the rest of our days. Just give it a go. Just one more time. Alex Telles on the wing, play him in Theda Shaw, and we will win.
I'm not sure how much that'll catch on. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Look,
go on. Positive thoughts.
Positive thoughts. Look, the most important thing was to get a win. We wasn't a win in any sort of fashion of a win. It's similar to the Brighton win, absolute skullduggery to get it.
Yeah.
It was good to see Telles getting 90 minutes. It didn't finish too late, so I can get enough sleep tonight.
First win at home.
Yeah, first win at home, exactly, against West Brom. Made them look good as well. That's a good thing for them. Made them look better than they actually are. I haven't mentioned Ireland yet in this chat, so that's
you have now. So there you go. That's your one and done.
Damn, that's my one and done.
That's your one and done. James, give me something else to smile about, please.
Oh, clean sheet. I should have. No one said clean sheet.
Clean sheet. We've got the clean sheet up the red.
Yeah.
Go on, James. Give me something to smile about. That's not your face.
Well, we're in the top half of the table.
Oh, brilliant!
No
bleeds everywhere.
Facts.
Anything else at all?
Oh, he's gone mute. He's muted.
James, you muted yourself. There you go. Go again.
My phone's disconnected for whatever.
Right, go on.
Yeah, I say we're in the top half, and I think Luke Shaw's going to be injured for a couple more weeks, so Alex Telles will have to play. So,
and you know what that means? Alex Telles on the wing, play with the shot, and we will win.
See, you've lost Brendan, Joe. That's what's happened with that chance.
That song alone should force Joe to paint his room a proper colour. What is a proper colour? We'll put a poll up, something like that. Ben's in the comments.
A bright red room.
Maguire was freaking brilliant tonight, says Ben, and I think he was indeed. Also, a very random question here from Alfred: is Lingard's career finished? Where did Lingard come from?
I don't know, but scroll back.
Does anyone actually think he should be starting on the right?
No.
Exactly. So why is that a question?
Do you not remember last season?
Also, I feel like I also need to address this comment. Show me one tweet where the channel says Ollie in. Balance is important. It irks me when we win 3 points and fan channels tweet a negative hashtag and help it trend. Right, first of all, I don't think anyone's tweeted a negative hashtag unless I've missed it. Number two, we don't need to say Ollie in or Ollie out. We just talk about the manager and what he's doing. I don't think anyone's ever said, oh, I'm Ollie in, I'm Ollie out. No, we've discussed what's been going well, what's not been going well. And today what's went well is... Go on, Joe. Say yours first.
Sorry, no, I'm going to say, Brown, you watch Show Enough. I think that's a very unfair comment. You watch... we are very much... Yeah, we are very open and honest, and that's the most we can do. And it's negative or it's positive, it's always honest to us. And I think, to be honest, I think it's an unfair comment to say that to us. You watch it enough that you can't say that you don't know what we do.
Well, if you dream, isn't it? We've not been Ollie in or Ollie out. That's the whole
exactly.
I find it ridiculous anyway, but that's my personal view.
If you want balance, then I'll give you a bit of balance. What went well today? Well, no, we'll go with what didn't go so well today. What didn't go well today is the performance. We weren't quick enough. We weren't creative enough. Our decision-making was way, way off. We lacked movement in the final third. and we genuinely didn't play good football. The only thing that helped us was VAR and David De Gea's good saves, and we played a bit of nice football towards the end when Mata came off, and I think that was the key.
Yes.
What did go well? We scored a goal, fantastic. Kept a clean sheet. Defense didn't have much to do, I don't think. Good performances across the board there, and we won our first game at home, and the first time we've won consecutive wins, which I think has been overlooked, and it's a good thing to get out of the way. So there you go. There's your balance. And my final thoughts are that we have places to improve, and I don't think it's the end of the world, but it is a worrying sign. These are the kind of games we should be playing well in. Going forward, we do need a change up. Van der Beek does need to get involved now. It's been a couple of months into the season. There's no excuse for him to say he's been betting in. If he doesn't start this week against Istanbul, I'd be a bit worried. And then going forward, let's see. In terms of the whole Matic-Fred thing with 2 holding midfielders, I think you can go with that. But again, I will still put forward that our best performances come with the diamond. Get Matic in a diamond rather than in a double pivot, and you're fine.
Well, that's it. Fresh Matic at the base worked
exactly
on his own. I didn't need both of them today.
Let the other 2 roam in front of him. That's my personal opinion. Make sure to keep getting in the comments. I'll go to each one of you then. Where can everyone find you? Ollie, you can go first.
Yeah, as we know, guys, Twitter at Oliver Chadwick 9 without the K. Feel free to give us a follow. And plenty of All for United and usual United banter from myself.
James, where can people find you then?
Find me on Twitter with my handle just below, and you can find me on the One United podcast as well. We've got an incredible guest coming on tomorrow. I think Joe would agree in that sense. So that'll be one to look forward to.
He's too cool to say his own handle. Just read it, guys. I'll leave it open there. Just read it. Go follow it. If you've not seen his face before, this is Joe. Where can people find you, Joe?
Sexy.
Yeah, I really want to hear about the super sexy guy James has on tomorrow, but I'm sure you'll just have to tune in.
I never said sexy.
Well, I heard. Okay, that's what I heard, and it's a fact. Yeah, you can find me at Acting Joe there, pointing for the first time in the right direction. You can find me on Instagram at Joe Your Own Way, and check out my YouTube channel where you can like and subscribe. Just search Joe O'Neill. And also you can find me here on All for United. So
wonderful. Yeah. And you can find me on Twitter, where I tend to live most of my life. If you've not noticed, it's at Mr. Karsham. You can find me on Instagram, Karthik Shamson. It's a difficult name to spell. Just find me on Twitter and search my name. You'll find me there. YouTube, I have my own channel, which is a bit dead at the minute. I'm not really doing much on it, but I do have a channel. It's called The Front Three. Go follow at Front Three Chat. Subscribe to The Front Three on YouTube. It is not the one with the number 3. It's the one spelt 3. We have not stolen the name. I created the name and didn't realize someone else had it. We chat a lot. I love to say that we love chatting bollocks on that channel, so make sure to come and join us. And of course, stay tuned to All for United, because you will see, oh bloody hell, my laptop's shaking, because you'll see my face here more often than not, unfortunately, whether you like it or not. I am here, so enjoy. And the rest of us are also here, and I'm going to do what Joe does and try and stall time while I find the outro button.
Alex Tell is on the wing, play him into the show, and we will win.
That is going to be our final thought then. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to All for United. Cheers for joining us. Get your comments in. I'm sure we'll all read them later on. Make sure to follow us on Twitter as well. Stop J-Lingsing it. And of course, this midweek, we've got the Champions League, which we're definitely going to win. See you in a bit.
Yeah.